Hello and welcome to FluxImmersive channel and this video dedicated to the use of the advanced parameters of the IRCAM Verb plugin. We have previously seen how Verb works in general terms, as well as its use with Dolby Atmos mixing. Today, we will focus on its more advanced settings. In the first video, we explored the decay time and room size setting. The first allows you to change the duration of the reverb tail. The second, its temporal structure. That being said, each of these settings can be refined. Below the decay time parameter, you will find a whole set of controls called high, medium and low, and 2 crossover filter frequencies. These first 3 settings allow you to vary the attenuation of the reverberation time according to the frequency. Each of these bands, low, mid-range, and high, is determined by the cutoff frequencies of the filters. The time structure panel is a little more complicated. If you use the room size parameter, you will see that only controls the settings of the time structure panel. These allow you to shape the acoustic simulation to account for different room types. The shape settings allow you to change the volume of the first reflections. By default, at 0.5, the volume of all the first reflections are identical, which reproduces the sensation of a listener at equidistance from the reflective materials in the room. Changing this balance changes the proximity of the listener to these reflective materials. Next are the min, max, and distribution settings. Min allows you to set the arrival time of the first reflection. Max defines the arrival time of the last first reflection. Distribution allows you to move these reflections towards the beginning or the end of this time window. The late reflections or clusters use exactly the same parameters: min, max, and distribution. Note that the result of the late earlies also depends on the first reflection. Indeed, each of the early, cluster, and tail blocks are wired like in series. They follow each other in a single path of the reverb. So changing the behavior of the first reflections will also change the behavior of the late arrivals and the reverb tail. The diffuse field has its own time structure setting. The reverb start parameter allows you to define the start of its action. Reverb dist parameter uses the same function as the first and late early reflection distribution. Finally, we have a few options left on the option panel. We have already talked about the diffuseness setting, which allows you to relocate the reverb or late early reflections around the source. The width setting allows you to change the feel of the width of the first reflections. This is a very interesting parameter to create a feeling of width of a monophonic source. We already have a video on this subject, which you can find below in the description. We have also already discussed the panning parameter, which allows you to rotate the reverb, so we will now cover modal density and air roll frequency. The modal density parameter allows you to smooth out some of the roughness of the IRCAM verb. For example, if the reverb becomes a little grainy on certain sources, increasing the parameter will soften the sound. It is therefore advisable to adjust it to your taste, depending on the source and the situation. The air roll frequency parameter, combined with the button activating the air absorption simulation, defines the cutoff frequency of this absorption. Finally, as a bonus, there is the infinite parameter for ambient music lovers. This allows you to loop the reverb infinitely and create layer effects for any sound sources. Thank you for watching this video. Click, share, like, and subscribe to be alerted when future videos are posted. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below, and see you next time.